Oh my god.
Yeah, throwing chairs
Hey,
is funny.
Oh shit.
Hello? Hello?
Okay.
you're here
Okay.
twice.
Yep.
So what we're seeing you is signed in twice.
So
Number one and number two.
Um,
Ray.
No, he
Ray Ray.
didn't.
Yeah. Wait,
Oh shit. Sorry. I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist.
Mm-mm.
okay.
It was right there.
It was right. Okay. Okay. Uh, and and we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of Let me just say podcast. I am your host Ray. With me as always is Ray, who is muted, and, and also we have Father.
Ray kind of sound like you're underwater, but you still sound clear. What is going on? Did you find a balance?
I don't know.
Christ.
How about now?
All right, that's a lot better.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We have Dion.
I am a fucking zombie today.
We- Are you a Flatbush zombie?
I've been awake since 3 a.m. Don't ask.
All right, we have Crystal,
hola.
and we have D Wolf.
Yo.
Besides the technical difficulties that I'm for some reason going through, how's everybody doing?
Pretty
We
good.
here.
Uh,
I
all
I got to
right,
beat someone up today.
I know you happy.
Fucker tried to steal my wallet. Keyword was
Oh,
tried.
man. Hey, man. I'm glad you was able to put the beats on him.
And this is off of me running off of 3 hours of sleep. Again, I've been awake since 3 a.m.
I'm proud of you, Dion. Maybe that gets it. Let me ask you a question. Did you beat him because the gas prices were so high?
Oh,
I don't officially have a car yet, so I don't I'm not all that concerned about the gas prices. I'm debating if I even want the motherfucking car anymore with the way the gas prices done jumped up.
Yeah, and this is exactly where we're going to start because I know last week we was talking about the stuff in Ukraine, but one thing that kind of like affected us because of this is that gas prices done jump. It's like $4 up to where I'm at. In other places, it's like $6, $7, $8. I've seen people gas tank. It takes like $100 to fill up a gas tank. Some like even 300. So I wanted to ask this question. How does these gas prices been affecting y'all, and how long do you think this will last?
Oh shit. No, I'm laughing because not a couple of hours ago, yeah, I don't know who here is familiar with Ha Davis,
Yeah,
but he posted a video on Instagram. He pulled up to a gas station, and when he seen the rise in the gas prices, he just abandoned the car. His cameraman's like, "Hey, where you go? Where you going? What you gonna leave your car here? Nah, you can have it. How you get into your people's house? I'm gonna just walk. They live across town. I don't care. Just when you got to pay fucking when you got to pay damn near a whole paycheck to put gas in your car, that's a problem.
A
That's a
whole
huge
check.
problem.
Shit.
Almost an entire check. I got I got friends and relatives in Cali, and what was you saying about them about some places it being $7 a gallon? Yeah, that's what
yeah,
Cali is dealing with right now.
and they've been worse. They've been seeing four and up for like months now.
Yeah,
shout out to people in Cali.
yeah. Mind you, everything is expensive in motherfucking California, but damn.
Honestly, I thought that was the reason why they always roll old Cadillacs, so they have to fill up that gas prices so high. So,
Yeah, but
uh,
depending on what model, depending on what Cadillac you get, and especially if you got a full blown fucking Escalade and SUV, yeah. Um,
who's
that
buying an Escalade in this type of environment?
hey, I'm gonna tell you like this. I got a friend in North Carolina that got hold of one just before the gas prices jumped, and SUVs in general eat gas like a motherfucker.
Oh, I know.
So she's regretting
I
that
definitely
decision.
know.
She is regretting that decision right now. I haven't spoken to her in about a week, but like she's regretting that decision right now.
I bet. Dewa, Chris, this affected any one of y'all?
Yeah, a bit. You know, paid an extra few dollars, but I saw this coming because what did he do, man? He didn't the sanctions happen like the day before the attack.
Something like that. I know they was talking about it.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's shutting Russia down one way or another. Russia
Mhm.
just not going to have anything.
Yeah, then he cut off our own pipeline just to benefit. Like it's weird how we're importing gas when we for like the last before this former vice president came in, we were running on our own shit. And then he just cut that shit off. Then the prices just went back up. And now we're in this situation with Russia. Now it's getting even worse. So I'm like, I
I
saw
feel
it coming.
like I feel like all this is gonna do is this is going to speed up the rise of the like
Mhm.
fully electric cars that Biden's been talking about and shit.
That's a problem too. If you think about it, that's a problem. You don't want. First of all, who can afford that when you're ready?
I was
Okay,
about to say them cars are not cheap.
you can't even. Yeah, I'm saying like we have a problem paying for gas. So you think you have money to put together to get an electric car, and not only that, right now there are people online saying, "Hey, Tesla, why don't you just shut down the cars in Russia?" And I'm like, okay, so you do that, and you're also telling people to switch over to fully electric. So if any of us has something to say about something, they could just cut off our gas. I mean, cut off our electricity and not or cut off
I,
our cars and not have
yeah,
we'll be at a
that.
stranglehold.
Yeah, that's shooting yourself in the foot. That
Yeah,
really is shooting yourself in the foot.
that's insane.
I think that right after the panic, um, personally speaking, I think that the president could have made a better strategy so we're not affected. So right now, he wants us to go back to work, and the ones that are working, we're not really bothered by that. But now we're bothered by after paying off how many days or how many months people are being evicted left and right. So the ones that finally get a place to live, now they got to think about, oh, how the fuck am I going to get to work? And places like Vegas, let me tell you about Vegas. Their
Mm.
system to get from point A to point B on the bus fucking sucks. I had to wait 30 minutes just to get to work. So if I wanted to get to work for 8, I would have to take a bus that's 5 o'clock in the fucking morning because their service sucks that much. Okay? So now you're saying with all the gas prices, if I wanted to drive my own car, I couldn't. I'm back taking the bus, leaving me liable to possibly lose my job because now I'm dependent on a transportation system that fucking sucks. I don't get how they're expecting us to function with all of this fuckery. The war should have nothing, and I do mean nothing to do with us, but it does. It's affecting us in some way, shape, or form. So I'm trying to figure out, on top of getting low pay, on top of trying to maintain food, if you have kids, God bless your heart, but all that money goes to them, and etc. Now we have to worry about rent I mean, sorry, gas prices going up on top of rent and all that other shit.
See, the world in general is in a very weird space right now because you gotta think we're still dealing with fucking COVID on top of everything going on with Ukraine and Russia and shit. So the world as a whole is in a very, very strange space right now.
Yeah, well, since Crystal already brought it up, and that was one of my topics about Joe Biden wanting us to go back into the office and fill the downtown. Uh, Two questions: do you think are we ready for that? Because there's still a pandemic. I don't want to say a pandemic, but COVID is still out there. It's not like we didn't forget about COVID, but do you think people are like mentally ready to go back downtown when um working at home was kind of not only it worked, but a lot of people it benefited a lot of other people that worked at home. How do y'all feel about that?
I think working from home is a problem.
You think working from home is a problem?
Yeah, we
I
spoke
want
on it a bit, and I think Fada made a great point about it and this was when I first got on here. We were talking about mental health. Like people are staying home, people are just going crazy, and that's not helping. Now, what first was COVID, now it's gas keeping us home because a lot of people are like, I'm not even going to drive to work anymore. I'm not paying Uber this much money every day and shit like that. What am I making? So I might as well stay at home. Then the whole thing just starts all over again. So I'm like,
working from
sometimes I'm
I
like, was
home.
this a
Working
strategic
from
move?
home has basically become the new normal.
Yeah, but I
Work,
don't think the work. My opinion, I don't think the working at home is the problem. It's staying at home.
Mm.
I think like if you just work at home and then like after you're done, you can go out and relax or go out there. It's just I feel like that's not a problem. I think it was beneficial, especially to like most people that couldn't find a daycare and they have to take care of their kids while working at home. I think that's good. I think the problem is after you're done with work, what do? It's like
Yep.
most people are like they want to go outside, they want to relax, they want to go to places like events and football. They're not going to be able to do that because we was locked down. So I don't know. That's what I was thinking. But I've seen it benefit a lot of people, and not just like sex workers, but like people with regular jobs too,
People with
What about the
kids
daycare
too.
workers though?
and people with kids.
What about the daycare workers that losing business? The
I
kids staying
mean,
home, that job is gone.
not really
not
though.
necessarily.
Not really. I see.
Not
Shoot.
really.
Uh, Cause kids still got to go to school. There's some kids that still
No,
got
no,
to
I
go to
wasn't talking
school.
about school. I wasn't talking about school. I'm at daycare.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
Cause
excuse me.
I would say this. I don't think like if you have a government job like a Social Security or a DMV, I feel like you should be in an office. But I feel like other jobs where like it doesn't, you don't need to be in an office at 8 days and like or be 7 days a week or 5 days a week and all that other stuff. It's just um
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
at the same, real quick,
Go
at the
ahead.
same time, this problem is kind of uniquely due to the fact that, as Crystal stated before, our infrastructure sucks. Like the fact that she got to wake up 5 o'clock just to get to work on time, like that's a problem. That shouldn't be a thing even. So I feel like part of the big reason why a lot of people like working from home is just to avoid the fucking commute. Because the commute itself is fucking stressful, especially if you live in a busy ass area. We in the DMV, we know how the fucking we know how commuting is so fucking terrible out here. Unless look, because like me,
Yes.
I mean, I've been carless this entire time, and I've been able to work my entire jobs. Like, I mean, you see me, I'm everywhere, and I don't have a fucking car. So
Yeah.
a good infrastructure when it comes to transportation is really fucking important. And because we don't have that as a country universally, means that a lot of people have to go out of their way, spend a shit ton of money on a car, spend a shit ton more money to maintain the car. Just a whole bunch of other expenses that comes with the car. You got to pay the car note. Then on top of that, again, we live in the DMV, so you probably gotta pay like the toll if you want to use the HOV or whatever. Like, if you want to go to a certain route, now you gotta pay with the Easy Pass. Like, it's they made it very expensive to do that as well. So I just feel like this conversation in itself, we really need to look at how infrastructure makes shit worse or how
Those
it
things are
makes shit
not
better.
even necessary either. It's the worst.
Yeah.
Tolls and all that shit. I'm like, just to leave the fucking city. Oh my god! Thank God it was a one way trip, yo. Because that makes no sense. I feel bad for people who have to go across these bridges and shit on the daily. Ah, 0 cents.
Bruh, and them
You know
prices
what?
can get kind of crazy too.
Yeah.
This,
I'm glad most of my jobs was in walking distance though. That I didn't have to like ride a commute. The most I had to do was like when I was going to AI and I had to go from Laurel to Virginia. It's like it's like a 45 to a. It took me like 2 hours to get to school sometimes. And if I missed like one of the early buses, I had to go like up the street, and it's a longer ride there. So it's just one of those things where I had to make sure I had to get up for school and all that. I hated that. But,
The thing is about me, I didn't
but
even mind the commute because I love driving to work, to and from work. I didn't mind it at all because it was relaxing.
I'm
But now with
I'm
the
pretty sure
gas, you're
drive.
like
I'm
now it's
pretty
hitting
sure.
your wallet.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure driving is one thing, but being
Yeah,
on a bus and riding the metro with a bunch of weirdos, and
hated that
especially if
shit.
you're in a if you're in the DMV area, there's a bunch of weirdos, or as Crystal said, there's a lot of people that's just like they just bug you for no reason.
Hmm.
mhm.
Like
Man.
you gotta. Sometimes you don't want to deal with that. It's just
Never want to deal with
Especially
it.
when you got kids. So
Oh shit.
say the industry for working home, and this is not an insult for people who don't have kids, is really geared for people who have older kids and who are single, who are free to do whatever the fuck they want to do because they know that they can create a space within their home that's just for them and separate it from work and then go out and get some air. Whereas parents who now have to have jobs such as nurse or medical assistant or even a childcare worker, they physically cannot hold them in their homes. You can't treat a patient at your house. So those kind of people, depending on what their job duties are, should go to work. And you know what that frees up? That frees up uh, the overuse of gas. That's number one. The people who could afford to stay home and want to stay home, nothing's going to, mess them up. They should be able to not have to utilize all this gas because, as we can say, some people they get paid a lot of money doing the jobs at home from their computer, or they get paid $10 an hour doing a call center job, depending on what it is. Nobody wants to use up fucking gas going to a high expensive building. And think about the emotional and mental health of that person. So you're leaving your home that you pay 800, struggling to pay 800 in apartment, right? And then you're going to a fancy building that they're paying over 100 grand just to pay you nine fucking dollars an hour when you know that you're paying way more in gas, especially today. What do you think's going to happen to that person? They're going to be smiling in your face? No. They just came from a pandemic. They have to wear a fucking mask over their face. And we have a lot of micromanaging, people who want to be managers but think that they can talk to you all crazy. You put a combination of that together on top of you low paying them, you low balling them, okay? On top of the the crisis going on top of having to cover their mouth, they can't even show expression or anything of that. It gets to people. So if you want it, I feel like the people in charge of CDC, the president, all they're like disregarding the emotional factor and the money factor of people who are middle income. We're not even talking about poor people. Middle income people can't even fucking make it. So what the fuck is going on? Let the people who work the jobs that they're like, look, I would benefit working a $9 job if my ass was at home, not wasting it on bullshit. And then you could allow people like people who have to go in. You have no choice. The roads would be clear and everybody would be fucking happy. That's my opinion.
look if I can understand like you wanting to get America back where it's going to be. I personally don't think it's changed too much to where it's going to be normal or our usual thing. So I think we need to adapt to some of these environments. And then from what one thing the pandemic is, you could do all your work at home. I've seen a lot of people that's just been doing their work at home. So if you want to get people back in, you still gotta like baby steps them. I have little baby steps. Hell, like, can we just deal with this CDC and like what are the mandates and what do we got to do to protect ourselves and all that other stuff? That's where my mostly concern is. Is just like if you do bring people back in, is COVID going to spike again like it did like earlier or late last year where it was just spiking and shit. And you know summer's coming out, people want to go outside, so it's just like, all right, what are we gonna do? Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
I don't, bruh. This shit is dumb. Why are we going through this? It's stupid.
Oh shit, America.
All right. Do y'all want to get to Chris Brown or do you want to get to
To who?
Chris Brown, Ryan Coogler?
We can talk about Chris Brown. I didn't even. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So did you know that he was facing a sexual assault case?
Yeah, I think I saw something about that on Twitter.
Okay.
That's new to me.
That's new. It started last year. Some girl said that she was EPAR'd or sexually assaulted by Chris Brown and all that other stuff. That and I remember this because people was dragging him for it, saying that he did the shit without no evidence. Well, Chris Brown like released that the girl was not only lied that she was thirsting for him, and he put out messages and messages of her being thirsty. He has voicemails of her wanting to have sexual relations with Chris Brown and like kept texting him and all that other stuff. So her lawyer saw that and dropped the case, and I think he's going to be found not guilty. So it leads to this conversation of if Chris Brown would have never like showed you this evidence that y'all would still be calling him guilty and all that other stuff. So how do y'all feel about what spires in it? Do you think the woman should have some type of consequence for lying on Chris Brown like that?
Of course, she should have consequences, especially with the accusation that fucking serious, and there's a stigma behind that. Yeah, you should be punished for lying on that man. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he has a past. Yes, he's. A lot of people will say that he hasn't grown from it, but at the same time, everybody's walk is different. You know what I'm saying? we do not have the we don't have the ability to place judgment on people who are trying just like you and me. And I'm not saying that to absolve him of any of his wrongdoings that he did in the past, but nigga, live your life and let that man live his life. You feeling what I'm saying? Like, we're not famous. We're not on the spotlight 24 motherfucking 7. We're not in a position where everybody's like, on a public platform relaying your past mistakes over and over and over again on repeat. You feeling what I'm saying? I like people are so quick to say shit, but when it's them on the fire, then all of a sudden they want to play the victim as if they're not the ones that perpetuate that same shit. And human beings have been doing that since the dawn of time, yet we never really developed a backbone for it at the same time. So I, when it comes to this, bruh, just fucking the woman needs to have consequences for this shit because there needs to be a precedent set on how people need to address these things going forward because it's not something to play with. Especially like people's lives are on the line, people's careers are on the line. We got smooth brain ass motherfuckers sitting out here thinking, oh well, he did it, so he's guilty forever. It's like, bro, that's not how that shit works. We all know that we wait for evidence. We wasn't there. We wasn't physically there to see whatever the fuck happened between those two. It's he say she say at whatever argument you want to place it at. It's he say she say, and things like this are kind of hard to prove in court because again, if there aren't any trustable witnesses, people can lie. It all boils down to semantics, especially with cases like this. So to end this, bruh, punish her. Don't let her go scot free because of that shit.
Yeah.
To add to what you were saying, does anyone here know the exact definition of the term defamation of character?
Yeah, you lie
Yeah.
on somebody, ruin their reputation based on a lie.
Yeah, just more reason that when someone, not just this case in particular, but anytime someone falsely accuses someone of really anything, but especially a sex related crime, like, come on, something needs to be done. I I firmly believe that when you falsely accuse somebody of something, whatever sentence they were supposed to get, the person that falsely accused they ass should get. Like, that's my take on that.
They took her side, right, in the
Because too
beginning?
often,
I don't want
I,
to say they took her side, but
Yeah,
it's more or less. Yeah, but
it's
you know,
it.
like, go ahead, Father.
No, I was just gonna say like it's more like the chopping block against Chris Brown because of
Hmm.
what he did to Rihanna. Them motherfuckers just rearing their heads any single time Chris Brown is on the news for something. That was
right,
mainly what
Yeah.
that was.
I was
Also,
trying
that also that guilty till proven innocent stigma that a lot of people put on. It's like, yeah, he guilty. He did it without like having evidence or like anything to like prove your point. You just need to believe all women and all that other stuff. That whole phase
And we
crazy.
no.
keep trying to tell people it's not about believing, it's about supporting. Support these people.
For
Yeah.
me, it's not. For me, it's just okay. What proof do you have before you say XYZ? Too often, we've seen people's careers and entire lives thrown away because of shit like this,
Oh yeah.
and it's just like no, no, and like it hits home for me because I've been falsely accused of not necessarily sexually assaulting someone, but I've been falsely accused of abuse. So like when I hear shit like this hits home for me.
Yeah. I think she should get her a just due, yo. Whatever the punishment is for that level, she should get it. And also, I hope real victims take a look at this and be like, look how quick. That's why I ask if they took her side, because I'm like, that's where most people will go. So I hope it makes it easier by seeing this and seeing other cases. Well, like, look, they're quick to even like go after someone who's innocent, so that means you should speak up if something happened to you, because I'm always like encouraging women, like, no, yo, anything goes down, I don't care how famous this person is, whatever it is, speak what happened, don't keep that shit quiet. Don't be afraid of the money and this and the other. Let it be known. Because if you don't get justice today, you especially if there's more voices, you will get justice tomorrow, and you're gonna help the person behind you. That's probably gonna be the next victim, because at least more eyes are on that person. So I just hope like women just pay attention to this, and like this gives them, the push to be like, not be silent, because things like this fuck it up for everyone. Because when you have someone like this to just lie, now he has an out. Now he has ammo. Huh. And this is why a lot of them want to shut. They don't want to say anything, because a lot of these guys get away with murder, you know. And sometimes it's because of bullshit. Sometimes they know how to hide it, but this stuff does not help.
Yeah, it's too many things wrong with how all this is handled in general. I got into it with someone on TikTok because they tried to twist my words around when I said that people who lie about these kinds of things fuck it up for the actual victims who go through this shit. They try to twist some words and try to make it seem like, oh, I'm trying to say anyone who says some shit like that is falsifying the shit, which that's not what I said.
Not what you
But
say.
you know,
Or
but
these
exact words, basically what you just said, Wolf, you know, the ones who lie about this shit fuck it up for the ones who were really like attack this shit.
people. Hmm.
You know, what's a person supposed to do
Nice.
when they're going through whatever it is they're going through and society is giving them the fucking side eye?
They could be in the same type of relationship or situation too. So they ain't gonna see a difference between the liar and the person telling the truth. So you're like, oh, you're just like that last girl that was with him. Y'all were doing the same thing. What you mean? Stop.
Exactly.
You're trying to get his
Exactly.
money. Stop playing. All that shit's gonna. Ah. Mm.
Q the
Exactly.
Rich guys in the building. How you doing, Q?
There we go. I am doing good. Fighting my phone, apparently. I see we're talking
Uh,
about Chris Brown.
Jitsi in general has been
yes,
acting stupid tonight.
yeah, yeah. We're talking about Chris Brown and him, basically, proving that he didn't sexually assault that girl. You have any thoughts on that?
Hey, hey, look, this is society. It's hard to tell. I heard D Wolf saying that. No, not D Wolf. I heard Dion actually say it fucks it up for people who actually go through these things, and it actually puts a side eye on a lot of other allegations being made towards other celebrities, and it's just fortunate that Chris Brown had receipts like a smart person would to
Yeah.
prove that what wasn't that, just in case, because when you are a high profile individual like Chris Brown or any of these celebrities that get put in these situations, you have to make sure that you protect yourself at all costs, because there are a lot of situations. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like the light skinned people are winning. You know what I'm saying? First Drake
Wait.
put hot sauce in a condom. You know what I'm saying? Chris Brown got receipts. Hey, we need to take some notes and learn from these light skinned people, because they are
but
doing
Look,
it right now.
when Trey Songz beat his case, we got one.
Oh
When
yeah,
Trey,
yeah. If
wait, what happened to
yeah,
Trey?
same thing, sexual assault.
yeah, same
Oh
thing. A woman saying that he sexually assaulted him and all that good
man,
Yeah,
stuff.
Trey ain't got to steal no pussy. Come on, man. That's Trey Songz,
he
dog.
You'll
so does it Chris
they
Brown.
said the same thing about R. Kelly. Be careful.
We don't talk
Yeah,
about R. Kelly. We're going to treat him like Bruno from Encanto. We don't talk about R. Kelly. But
But
anyway,
I'm just saying they said the same thing about him.
that's what I meant with
But that was an
with
age
Towns,
thing,
man.
though.
We don't talk
that was
about
an
R. Kelly.
age problem.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but they still said, what R. Kelly doing with that young ass girl? He could get him a grown ass woman. What do he do? What do he need to do? He ain't do that. He ain't do that to that
You
little
do have a
girl.
point there. You have a point right there.
That's they said the same thing. Your status doesn't mean anything. You are who you really are behind closed doors, regardless of if you're famous, if you're not famous,
Hmm.
if you got a million of fans. Like, you'll be surprised at how many of these people that we idolize are really fucked up individuals behind
Oh,
closed
I'm not
doors.
surprised at all. I'm not surprised.
Oh,
But
I've
I
heard
don't
some
look at
getting
them
stories.
back,
any different, yo.
Yeah, so
I've
but
heard some stories.
yeah,
I
so
wanna
with
I
that,
wanna get back to the Chris Brown thing real quick though,
but
because
my whole thing about the Chris Brown thing is just like, what did y'all expect? Like, Chris Brown just, like, it's just it's in the scenario. First of all, fuck that girl whoever lied. That girl who lied, bitch, you ain't shit.
facts.
We don't call women bitches on this podcast, but you, my friend, are absolute garbage. Oh yeah, in my Randy Savage voice. So, like, people like that piss me off, and they put a bad name on these women who actually have, situations that come about that they can't really speak on. And for you to use your platform to try to downplay somebody who's already had issues, legal issues, and problems with women in the past, to try to tarnish his name even more than what it could be is kind of like sickening.
To add to that, what I was about to say. Now, here's a situation that this broad could have potentially created. Right now, it's already been proven that everything she was saying that Chris Brown tried to do to her, or whatever, was false. Right now, I say this, fingers crossed and everything. Heaven forbid a situation come up where Chris Brown actually does something to someone of this nature. And like I said earlier, now she we're gonna have a case where we have an actual victim. She was actually assaulted. People on social media are now saying, "Oh, she was actually R.A.P. Reed," because they don't want to actually say the word. You know what I'm saying? And society's gonna be looking at her funny when
None of
she's a
that.
legitimate victim.
Society is going to brush her under the rug like everybody else, and we're going to go back to our regularly scheduled programming until somebody else does it again. That's the problem.
But even still, this creates a situation where, okay, someone who is legitimately attacked is not going to get their just dues.
Girl who cried wolf.
The girl who cried wolf just basically ruined the whole situation for the actual sheep.
I can't. I
No,
can't say. I'm about to say. I
no,
can't say. I can't say that because like
no.
in
Everything's a case by case basics.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel like that's going to ruin anything for the next person. The next person would just be investigated just as well as anybody else. Chris Brown just caught it before it got to anything bigger than what it could be. That's all.
I guess.
That's it. He caught it before it got bad. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
I
saying?
just
guess,
because
but
this girl lied, just because this girl lied doesn't mean the next girl will. I just tell everybody before I give my opinion, and a lot of women hate when you do this. I need to see evidence.
Yeah, I
I
need the
need because
facts. I need
we
the
need
facts.
facts. Because
I need the facts.
like I tell everybody, like men do not have a problem if someone who's a sexual assault or does EPAR. We don't have a problem getting them the fuck out of there. We tell people all the time. We do not. He's a piece of shit. We tell him, like especially if he goes to jail, he's going to get his just due. It
Exactly.
happens all the fucking time. So
In
it's
general,
just
that's
that
the
we need to
default
see.
setting for us.
Yes. If any, and this is why I tell women is that we just need the evidence. Once we get the evidence that you prove that he did the stuff, it's go mode from there. It's the
Yeah.
same thing when we saw if when people saw R. Kelly urinate on that girl, everybody was like, "He did it." It's things like that. It's just like all we need is proof and it's go mode.
I mean, R. Kelly said his whole social security number on the camera, so it was just damn near
Mhm.
like it was
Shout
it
out
was
to
come on,
da-
Tupac.
it was it was damn near like damn. Was you trying to sell this motherfucker or something? But nah,
This is Robert Kelly.
Robert Kelly, yes, God bless. But nah, it's just fucked up to see what people are willing to do to get publicity and get money. But this is the society we live in. Scammers and backdoor people, people who just don't want to do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Chris Brown has been through it enough. And he been chilling. He ain't did nothing.
do anything for
Right.
clout. Do
Crystal,
anything
you have anything
for
to say?
clout.
Yeah, at the end of the day, someone who's serious about keeping out of trouble wouldn't even be in that crowd. She wouldn't even have his number so that they can text back and forth. It was something happening between either she didn't get what she wanted or she got what she wanted, but not to her timing. Either way, um, he's let go. I wish I knew more information or I wish I had like the inside stuff, but maybe, maybe she was, but because of the text message shows that she was um being thirsty, so to speak, it null and voided any hint of her being raped if she was raped. But Chris Brown ain't serious about keeping safe, keeping away because he's always in those type of crowds. No one should get that close to him in any situation.
Big facts.
Because at the end of the day, like, if you know that you're constantly being accused of rape, why would you put yourself in a situation that a person could literally be that close to you to text you bullshit at the end of the day? Another thing I would like to see, it's funny how everybody's protesting against black men this, black men that, whatever, right? Against what they're doing, but black men are not protesting to have these women locked up and petitioning to make a law that protects black men from women like that. The Chris Browners, the Drakers, I'm just saying, anybody that is going out of their way to lie needs to have some kind of consequence for their action. Um,
You should get the same fucking sentence that the person you lied on was going to get.
I think that's reasonable because what you're doing, and I'm a big example of that, is you're taking, if Chris Brown was locked up tomorrow based off of false accusation and his past going against him, which is bias in the court system, but let's face it, the court system was not made for Black people, but that's another topic.
Big fact.
He's more likely to get locked up. So who's suffering? His kids. His kids can get 10 to 20 years taken away from them, which is fucking up their emotional situation. So we can't fix that. As a society, if someone was to get their parents taken away off of false accusation, a pat on the back saying, sorry for wasting 15 years and taking away the bonding relationship that your child really needed away from them, and now they're adult and you got to start all over. But here's the money. Nah, fuck that shit. They need to suffer the same way that someone has suffer with false accusations, because it's not just, if it God forbid if it was God forbid if it was a situation where he got wrongly accused, who is it really hurting besides Chris Brown?
Right.
We got to keep encouraging until that day comes. We got to keep encouraging men or young men, raise our men to understand, to keep those receipts, get that hot sauce ready, and all that shit. We
Yeah,
have to be more vigilant because
because
we lose a lot of our men because of that shit.
you think, and for him to constantly put himself in that situation, we know and this is where I bring in mental health. I'm sorry, guys, but someone who keeps doing something that's harmful to their reputation that they've worked so hard to build back from an accusation of rape or from domestic violence, you have to say to the person, this person does not love themselves.
Hey, Crystal, you know what I would do, Crystal?
Huh?
You know what I would do, Crystal?
What?
Sue the fuck out of her ass. I want every goddamn dollar you done shook
I
your
hope
ass
he
for.
pulls a Cardi B.
She ain't.
When people
She ain't got shit. That's why she
I don't
she
give
was
a
doing
fuck,
what
bitch.
she did. She
I
ain't
want
got
you
shit,
owe
dirt.
me. You owe me.
Then you
I
sue the black off her body. That's what you do.
But that's
I
because she ain't got shit. She needs everything that she worked so hard to get needs to be put on lien on it, because she needs to pay Chris Brown first before she can go and party and do all of this shit. Hurt her where
Imagine.
it is.
You
The
know
Go
what
fuck?
we
ahead, Crystal.
need?
I'm
We
sorry.
need something that's equivalent to the sex offender list, but for women that does this. We need a name for it and have them put on a list.
Ooh.
So
You
men
know,
could check
Like,
their names and be like, hold up, we've done something like this. Yo.
and this black first, okay? Because
G
they get for a lot of fuckery.
GCW. GCW. Girl cry
look.
wolf.
Yeah.
Imagine how much money Chris Brown had to spend just to get his lawyers up and try to prove everything. Like he probably had to put a
Nothing.
lot of money.
Nothing.
No,
That nigga went to his phone records and then posted that shit on Instagrams, and everything was gone.
I'm sure he's got them on retainer
All he
anyway.
did, he paid his. All he did was pay his publicist a little bit of money.
But just to make sure the word got out.
Yeah, he just he on Instagrams. He did his thing. Good job, Chris Brown.
Okay. Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
No. But hey, before we get to the next topic, can I just state some news? Some
Go
great
ahead.
news. Jussie
Is
Smollett
it
has
about?
sent
Yeah, I was about
Jussie.
to say, is it
Oh
about
my
Jussie
god, that was
Smollett?
gonna be my final thoughts.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yo.
The liar
He
gets
said,
paid.
"Great news." Go ahead.
That is great news. Jussie Smollett sentenced to 150 days in jail and 30 months probation for staging hate crime. Woo!
Did you see it?
That.
Did you see his reaction?
Oh, he
That
was
shit was
pissed.
hilarious, yo.
If if I was him, I'd have shut the fuck up because he got off. In my
Yo.
opinion,
Can turn
he
off
got
the
off.
acting, yo. It was insane.
He
I was
really did.
oh. And like the judge said, he did exactly what the judge called him. He was like, he's a fucking narcissist. He did not stop. He made it about him. Yo. Now
He was like, "I'm not
we're gonna see the
suicidal."
hashtag Jussie Smollett did not kill himself. We're gonna see that now. Just because of that.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
I thought. Yeah, I was like, because he could have faced up to like what 30 days or some shit like, not 30 days, 30 years or something like that. I
It
remember,
was three.
like
It was a
they was
maximum
seeing
of 3. 1 to 3 was the
maximum of
maximum.
3, but
Yeah.
there was a whole thing that he made a death threat letter,
Oh.
and like that's federal,
Mm.
and like if that would have went in, he'd have saw at least 30 years. That's that's why I be saying that. But 150 days, you could do that no problem. I'm pretty sure the 30 months probation might be irritating, but other than that,
I am innocent.
uh,
I am not suicidal.
Suicidal. That's-
He
yeah.
is the worst.
Also,
did the back power fist on his
also,
way out.
yeah, I know. Also, I don't think the gay Tupac would have went out like that. So
Hey,
I
where's
think
the
he
Boondocks when we need them?
Right? This would have been
cast him.
perfect material. Nah, but it did it for himself. So
Yeah, he's a lame.
Yeah.
You gonna put Bubba
Oh
They-
out?
man.
You gonna put the? Oh my god!
Well,
Man, this is one of those. This is one of those. All the jokes are gonna write themselves from this point. It
He should have sung
just.
that
yeah,
song
like
that did. He should have sung that song that dude sung to the judge. I'm sorry.
No, you know what comes to mind? The freaking The Price is Right losing thing.
dun, 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 dun.
yep. Oh
Horrible.
man.
I'm sorry.
That
Yes,
back in
I'm
my mind is
sorry.
like, so what would the gay Tupac? He was like, what would the gay Tupac do in this situation? And I
He'd
think
have spit
that's.
on the judge and then licked it off. Okay, sorry.
Okay. Before we get into our next topic, though, Q,
Yo.
how does it feel that the battle you never wanted to see is actually happening?
Oh my god! Why the fuck did I hate the two people I hate the most in life are battling? I swear I want to boycott this fucking card so fucking bad. Ray, hey, I almost blocked URL TV from Instagram. I almost blocked them and
Uh,
reported the fucking post. Why
oh,
I hate, you know what? This just proves how much I hate Sue Surf so much because he contradicts everything that he says in life. I swore for the last 10 years, this man said, I will never battle Cortez. I will never battle John the Don. You're literally doing it in a 2-year span.
yeah.
What if he loses to Cortez? Oh my God.
No, I'm gonna tell you what happens when he loses to Cortez. He's gonna brush it off like it's nothing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell
he
you.
gonna treat Cortez like it was nobody. I didn't take you serious. He's a bitch.
Yeah, he's gonna say that, and then
Man.
like he's gonna talk all that shit in the face off. He's gonna. I guarantee you. I don't think he's gonna choke, but I do think that if Cortez beat him, he's gonna be like, so what? That's what I
It's
think is
still
going to happen.
Cortez.
It's
Still
Cortez. That's my honest opinion about that. So
I think Cortez is gonna lose just based off of crowd.
yeah, he
They're
might
gonna
get
treat
booed the
him like
fuck
some
up.
shit. They're gonna treat him like some
Sue
shit.
Surf got some dick riding ass fans, and
Oh my God, I fucking hate this. Is like, you know what?
it's
I'm
a
rooting for
it's a
Cortez.
cult. It's a cult.
I'm rooting for Cortez.
I'm giving Cortez the same way I'm giving leeway to John. You
Yep.
better 3-0 him, or I'm going to call it a loss. He has to
Hey,
3-0 him.
hey, I hate
Damn.
Cortez. I hate Cortez and Sue Surf the way Stephen A. Smith hate Cowboy fans. I just
Yeah.
don't like them. I just don't like them. I don't like this is the like I don't want to see this fucking. I'm sorry, everybody else in this panel. This is I don't want to see this fucking battle.
Oh no, talk your talk. Talk your talk.
Like
That's the whole
it's
purpose of
really
this.
two filler ass motherfuckers. Cortez has nothing but fillers in his fucking raps. His shit is a fucking annoying. He's not that fucking good. He does too fucking much. He overwrites. He doesn't keep. When he needs to be simple, he over complex. He's over complexed about his shit. And then when he needs to be witty about the shit is simple and bummy. Like he is trash. I fucking hate Cortez. I really do. I swear I really don't like Cortez, and that's just genuinely. I just don't like. I just think he's old. I just don't think he's good. I think he's bottom tier. I think he's volunteer. He's just not that fucking good.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
And when it comes to Sue Surf, I feel I treat Sue Surf like I treat James Harden. You're trash, garbage. You do the same fucking move over and over. And when motherfuckers start figuring out that all you're doing is calling foul, I'm gonna be over this shit. You're complete BP, Exxon, Sunoco, Shell, gas, nigga, every fucking time. And the only reason I don't hate Tay Rock as much as I hate Sue Surf is because Tay Rock actually got some shit that actually made me raise eyebrows and say, "Oh shit, that was crazy." Sue Surf, oh my god, you are so fucking mediocre, bro. You're fucking shit. Like this is like a fucking terrible fucking rap. I'd rather watch Fair Funeral battle Shuni the fucking rapper over again. Like what the fuck, bro? This shit is fucking horrible, bro. Like why can't Hitman battle Show Out? That's more entertaining. Like get the fuck out of here.
Oh man.
All
All
right,
right.
I'm done.
He's really in
Or
his feelings over this. God damn.
why can't New Jersey Twerk battle fucking Beasley or somebody? The fuck.
You might battle K Shine. You might see that battle. I think that's the battle.
Like that shit irritates the fuck out of me. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done. You can go to the next topic. This shit.
All
I don't
right.
know why you bring it up.
For that reason and that reason only.
Your reaction.
All right, on to the next topic. Are y'all familiar with Ryan Coogler?
Not really.
No, but you will. You'll let us know.
You don't know the guy who did Black Panther? The guy who
Really,
did
you don't know
Creed?
Ryan
I knew that
Coogler?
sounded familiar. Yeah.
Oh,
For
the
real?
That is his name.
what the director behind the movies, behind those
Yeah,
movies.
yeah. No,
What
Okay,
just
he?
Black Panther.
what about the Amazing Black
Ah.
Man?
What about
Huh?
Creed?
What about Creed?
What about the Amazing Black Man? Let's hear
Do you think he has a face of a robber?
it.
He's
With
black.
the mask on, yeah.
What? Hey,
What the fuck kind of
oh
question
my
is that?
god.
Okay,
That was a
obviously
perfect comeback. I'm sorry, D Wolf. That was amazing.
Because
obviously Dion don't know what happened. Ryan Coogler was trying to deposit some money out of a bank account, and they called the cops on him,
He was
saying that he was trying to
withdrawing.
rob. That he was trying to
He was
rob the bank.
withdrawing. He wasn't depositing.
About my bad, withdrawing. I'm sorry, withdrawing, and they called the cops on him.
And they
And
did the same thing to Black Youngster.
Yeah.
But I
I feel
understand.
like I hate to laugh at that, but I feel like
I
Black Youngster.
understand why Black Youngster though.
No, I feel like Black Youngster reaction to that is probably a little bit more funny, even though it's not a laugh. And like it'd be
Pussy
one
ass
of those
bitch.
things that it just started to, bitch. I ain't no flat trying to rob my own
Bitch,
money.
get. What? I want my money. I need my money. I need my money today. You whore.
You whore.
Whore.
Anyway, Father, since you brought this topic up, I'm bringing to you. How do you feel about the situation that happened with Ryan Coogler?
Uh-oh.
Bro, that's sad. A man's withdrawing his money. A black man withdrawing his money, and you go call the cops on him. We can't take out money now. Like, come on,
What
really?
is a reason? 0 cents.
Should have never gave you niggas money.
So
This
what was
is
their excuse for calling the cops?
you look like a thief.
That was
At an
it.
ATM,
He wrote a letter for what he said. He wrote a letter. He was like he's trying to withdraw some money and please be discreet because he don't want people to know who he is because
Uh,
he is a famous
yeah.
movie director.
But he
With
don't have
that,
anybody to do that for him.
I think some people just like doing stuff for their own.
Wow. No, usually when rich people deal with money, they don't.
I don't
That's
think Floyd
interesting.
Mayweather. I don't think that has ever happened to Floyd Mayweather.
I don't think he has to worry about that.
that's because he
This
doesn't give a
dude.
fuck. He wants the world to know
It's
he
Floyd
took out
Mayweather.
$2 million.
That nigga literally carries around $1 million
He is
in his backpack.
flamboyant. Yeah, he
But
don't
he
care.
wants the
He
world
just-
to know that he took out $2 million. So he don't give a fuck if he go to the
he
bank.
wants to be discreet, and he had that. Yeah, and the way he was wearing. I mean, I could see it, but at the same time, man, read the fucking paper. Because you can see, like I'm watching the pictures online. I'm like, okay, I see what he's wearing. I
Yeah, I
get
was
it,
passing.
but at the same time, if it's based on what was said, you just jumped at the fact that that you saw a paper
D
and
Wolf,
didn't read it.
everybody looks like that though.
That's what I'm saying. Like they fucking jump. Well, I don't. This is
Like
insane.
I'm afraid to go to a bank as a black man because I like wearing all black, and sometimes
Oh
me
my
with all black and a mask on, I feel like that's not a good idea. Sometimes I just
That was the other. That was funny. I remember when COVID started, people were joking about this is the shit that's going to start happening, and wow, it happens.
my
Direct.
my thing.
This
My
wasn't a
thing is
fucking joke, D Wolf.
That's insane. Yo,
Just
they
because
said
a
this
black
was gonna
person
happen. They
laughs
said,
behind
yo, they
something
were
don't mean
joking
it's funny.
around and said that was gonna happen once they started the mask mandate. So it's like, yo, somebody gonna go in a bank and get fucked up because of it. I'm like, I didn't hear any stories about it.
Oh yeah,
Thankfully,
they're gonna think they're robbing the
Hey,
place.
I don't know if they
D-Wolf.
were, but
Hey, D Wolf.
yeah.
Just because a black person laughs after it doesn't mean it was funny.
Yo,
and then I laugh.
he ain't
Yeah.
dying.
And then I
Though. It's
laugh.
just funny.
Also,
It
I
is
just want
just
y'all to
crazy,
know.
yo.
All right,
I just
we're
want
not
y'all-
always
Because
laughing at
I'm
you,
looking
so
at
when
the
Hold on,
you
hold on,
laugh
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on. Go ahead, Father.
I just want y'all to know the person who called the cops on him was an African woman.
Oh
Wow.
no.
Oh
Yup.
it
God.
be your own. It be your
It be your
own.
own.
Where is he? Let me see.
Who is this man? Who is this? What do you need so much money for?
I call police.
What you mean? Why do I
It's
need so
no
much money?
police.
It's my money. What?
It's my money and I need it now.
Exactly.
What happened to can I get 2 forms of ID? Like what the fuck?
And he had on him. In
I
which he
know
had
he
on him. And then the sad part is the police just arrested him. They didn't ask no questions. They just went straight to handcuffing him.
like
They
they didn't.
did play it cool. Let's see.
No,
His uncle's
I'm
Clarence Thomas? What? Is that who I think it is?
it's, who? Ryan Coogler?
Yeah. Am I reading this right?
I think his uncle is Clarence Thomas. I don't know. I have to look that up. I might have to look that up. But this is what I'm saying. I don't usually care what white people think, but I do want to get their reaction to this. Is how do you defend this? Because when we talk about white privilege and sometimes things are different when black people do things to when white people do things, and they always try to get an excuse. And then like this is like another one of those proofs that he got racially profiled and the man got arrested. Yes, they didn't obviously detain him and all that other stuff, but if that was a white man trying to deposit his money, I guarantee he would have cursed them cops out. He probably wouldn't even been a man. Matter of fact, I don't even think they would have detained him. They would probably have asked questions.
I'm still stuck on the fact that this was another black person that even like did this. That's the part I'm stuck on.
Hey man, sometimes it be your own.
Fellow writer too. Fuck.
The one thing I noticed is that you can't take us like you be surprised who be trying to put it down for and all that other stuff. So sometimes it be your own.
Crabs in a bucket.
Like Boozy said, you just hypnotized by hatred. So, but I don't think she did that. She probably maybe she was fearing for her life, but the fact that they didn't even ask questions, like they could have said, "Hey, can I see your? We're getting problems." Like he didn't even look like he had a gun on him. So it's just like, how is he going to rob the bank with what gun? I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's just like, as a black man, you looking at it, it's just sad. You just sigh at it a couple times, and it's just like, I'm glad it didn't escalate. But he was like, "Look, just check my." He said this calmly. Just check my ID. You'll see who I am and all that stuff. And I'm pretty sure they probably had the same reaction Dion had. Who the fuck is Ryan Coogler? And all that other stuff.
No, I knew who it was, but I was like, that name is so seldom mentioned. I forgot, but I know him. But wow,
That's it.
because that's
Yeah. I was going to ask this question though. Dion, do you know any black producers or directors?
Yeah. Oh, who'd
Come
you
on,
ask?
man.
Let me
Dion.
see.
I'm asking Dion.
I mean, there's the